I'm the Honest Coach. I coach girls on going from being nice to connecting with their softness in order to gain control over their life circumstances and relationships with men. As I said before, I've been getting lots of messages from my girls about how much this stuff is helping them, and I can't tell you how much it means to me. But one of my girls just brought up a really important topic for me that I don't speak on too much here, but it is definitely related. And it has to do with motivation. So I talked before about having interest versus putting in effort. Well, the question was, what if I'm procrastinating on something that I want to do? I'm rewording it because I don't like to share people's words. To me, words are very powerful and they mean a lot. So basically the gist is, what do you do when there's something that you want to do but you're procrastinating? It took me a long time to recognize that a lot of the things that I thought I wanted to do or I should do, and then I would beat myself up over that I never did it and I put it off, and there's all these things that are wrong with me because why do I do this? Why do I do this? I said, well, I really didn't want to do it. When I really got down to the source of it, I didn't like the way it felt, so I wasn't doing it. So the point is, you're only really going to do stuff that you enjoy the way it feels. So look at him. He's pulling away from you, and here you are running after him, putting him in such an important place that you're taking parts of yourself and throwing him out the window just so that you can get him. That's useful information. There's a reason why you're so drawn to him. That's useful information. So when you really want to do something, nothing will stop you. The fact that you're not doing it means that there's aspects about it that make you feel things that you don't want to feel. So I recommended I always say I use what works, what doesn't work, and this is another method I like to frame it in: what makes me comfortable, what makes me uncomfortable. So you take the topic of it, like I wanted to create a TikTok, I wanted to share this information. Now, I've tried to make coaching businesses in the past. I had a professional career. I was an expert. I went very far, and I tried for 7 years, 8 years to try and get myself to start a business in that field, and it fell flat every time until I realized I wasn't actually comfortable doing it and that I was never comfortable doing it. So then I wanted to create this business, and I knew enough at that time that every time I tried to start it, I had this TikTok account for maybe a year, and I would post this or I would post that, and it just didn't fit. It fell flat every time. I didn't like the way it felt. And so I just said, what is it? How do I want to feel when I'm doing it? I just wanted to feel like I'm talking to my girlfriends. And I just started showing up and showing up and showing up. I didn't have to think. I didn't have to prepare. It all just started flowing. And then I had an intro. And then I had this concept. And then I had that concept. And I was clever enough to know that what I'm teaching is very deep, but I want my girls to listen. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to shape it around the men that are pulling away from them because I know that's where their attention is. But the things that I'm teaching you go so much deeper, and my content is not for everyone. It's for a very specific type of person. Well, all that worked. Why? Because I felt comfortable doing it. And so you want to get out of your brain having these goals that are outside of you. I want to do this so that I can get this. And you just want to say, I want to feel this when I'm doing this. I want work to feel like this. I want life to feel like this. I want relationships to feel like this. I want, I said, your inner girl, she wants to be treated like a goddess. That's a general word. I use general words here. But what if that's what it is? Now you can tell the guy, hey, listen, I'm very attracted to you, but I'm only going to allow myself to be treated like a goddess. And that may not be something you're capable of doing. So no judgment. Like, I like you, but I only accept men that are going to treat me like a goddess. Sorry. Like that, now you can be confident because you know. So I don't ever even pick up those old ideas or those old goals because I say, this doesn't work. I didn't like it. If one day there's a way that I can move towards it and enjoy the way it feels, I will. But it's not in that place. And it was such a relief to let it go. And then I got to let all of that stuff that I made myself feel bad about. You're so far behind and you never do this. And it's all just noise. When you feel good in your body, when you like the way something feels, you will show up over and over. So I just want to share that because motivation is a huge part of this. We don't set goals anymore from what I teach. You want to connect to your softness. That's what works. So we don't create goals. We just decide how we want to feel. Well, sometimes we don't know how we want to feel. So we gotta discover that. Well, what makes you comfortable? What makes you uncomfortable? You know, if I say, well, I want a really buff body. So every day that I go work out, when I'm not getting a buff body, or I don't feel like it's working, or I don't have the motivation and I feel like it's so hard, and no matter how much I show up, it just effort doesn't work. Instead, I say, well, how do I want it to feel when I'm working out? Well, I really like stretching and I like full range of motion, and I want to take time to breathe, and I want to do it to meditation music. I want to feel calming. I don't want to feel like I have to push through and do a certain number of sets. And every day I want to change the weights for whatever is comfortable with my body. Well, here I am. I show up every day now and I feel great and I have the best workouts and I have more energy after, and I don't feel crunched and I don't feel jammed and I don't feel like I look in the mirror and I feel so frustrated. Why? Because I know that creating those kinds of expectations is going to put me into effort, and effort doesn't work. Instead, I just want to align with how I want to feel in my body. You know, I'm not going to diet and push myself and starve myself and do all this cardio so that I can be skinny, so that I can feel attractive. I'm just going to say, I want to feel attractive. You know, I want to work out because I like the way it feels to work out. So I want to put myself in, I want to feel good when I'm working out. I like the way it feels to do that. I want to have the time to do that. I want to have the patience to do that. I want to be able to take a deep breath. Whatever it is, it's like it just starts lining up as soon as you start pinpointing how it is you want to feel, how it is you're comfortable feeling. If you're not doing something, it's because you're not comfortable doing it. And there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't like the way it feels. So say that. I have this goal, but I don't like the way it feels for this and this. Well, what do you like the way it feels? Well, I like this, or I like this. And if you have an expectation at the end of it, it's like, I want to be buff so that people are attracted to me. It's like, okay, well, you want to feel attractive. Let's just move in that direction. I want to feel attractive. Let's start feeling attractive in our body. What makes me feel attractive right now? Maybe I'm going to put on some nice clothes. Maybe I'm going to get a facial. Maybe I'm going to go get my nails done. I mean, whatever it is, you just start there. And then before you know it, you look back and you're like, I have 2,000 followers and I'm writing content and I'm changing people's lives and I'm doing one-on-one, and it just has all happened. Why? Because you're comfortable. If you think about all the things that make you uncomfortable, of course you're going to avoid it. So you just start working with this part of yourself, right? She's never trusted you. You're trying to gain her trust. You gain her trust by saying, what makes you feel good? What makes you comfortable? We're going to move in that direction. You know, he's pulling away. We're not going to go no contact. We're going to say, what is it you love about him? That's great. Let's hold on to those things and let's let go of the things that don't feel good. We just won't participate with the things that don't feel good. But yeah, he is magnificent, isn't he? That's great. What do you want to feel right now? That's your goal. What do you want to feel? That's your goal. You just line up with that. I want to feel like I'm just talking to my girlfriends. So I just come here and talk to my girlfriends. And it has taken a shape naturally. So that's what I would recommend. Blessed be.